Defensively on the trip, especially Monday's game and Wednesday's game, you seem to make some big strides.
We had some big strides the first couple of games against Milwaukee and Memphis, and we took a half step back last night. We had some, as usual, when you're going through it, it doesn't look as it hurts when you go through a lackluster start. But we did have some good possessions down the stretch and when we needed to. But again, we need to work for consistency. We got to strive for consistency defensively and also offensively.
Was that a long video session this morning?
It was. It had a lot to go over, a lot to talk about, a lot to correct and show. Again, we can't be satisfied with just going through the motions in certain segments of the game, no matter who you play. I mean, we're not there yet. We're still that team trying to take that step, and I've said it all along, and that's why we have to work at being a consistent, hard-playing team and with a defensive mindset in mind to start the game.
Was last night really the first time you've even thought about questioning effort?
No, focus, effort. I mean, it's hard to question. I think more, focus, getting started, getting into it. Our second unit came in, had great effort and focus. It's doing it collectively, having a collective. Because when one guy breaks down, it breaks everything down. It pulls from the fiber. So. We've had other. It wasn't just last night. We've had other stretches. I don't think there's any NBA team that can say they've had 42 games or 43 games of consistent effort. I mean, that's something. But one thing you can do is have consistent focus on what you're trying to do.
But it's just, you've been such a sensible educator and keeping guys accountable, but do you find that maybe a message like last night is warranted because, as Kyle was just telling us, the expectations are different? Just the way you guys started the year.
Right. Well, I've been saying the same thing privately as I said last night. It's the first time I said it publicly, but I don't have to come out here and rip the players every time in front of the cameras to be upset. So we've been having that message about pushing, and you can't be Mr. Nice Guy in the locker room and be pushing at the same time. So we've been talking about effort. That's how you get it. Continue to pull for it, push for it, and a lot of times you can't do it with a feather. But again, our guys have laid it on the line, most of the games. I mean, I'm not saying there's not a team out there that hasn't given it 100% all the time, but last night we had a lapse at the beginning, which made it look even worse.
So how do you quantify the things that need to be improved on? Do you look at the 80-odd turnovers in the last 5 games? Do you look at the shooting percentage?
Well, no. I look at our defensive. I think we had, Michael said, we had great steps defensively. I think you're going to have nights when I'll take some of those nights when you can't make a shot. If your defensive effort is there, your transition defense, all the other things. I thought last night our transition defense was horrid, is what got it. It wasn't our offense. It was our transition defense that got them going. We missed shots, but then, you give a team like that a 15-0 start, or anybody, you're going to be playing behind the 8 ball and put pressure on yourself. So I go back to start the game last night with our transition defense, which is communication, focus, and understanding what you're trying to do.
Look how close this locker room is, and obviously you'd be telling them more often than you'd be telling us your frustrations. Do you see that willingness in the group to hold themselves accountable to the way that you want them to?
Yeah, and again, let's don't get frustration. It's coaching. I call it coaching. Frustration, I think you lose your cool a little bit and oh, he's frustrated. No, it's one of the 82. Again, it's our job as a coaching staff to fight for consistency, and it's hard to do that by doing it with a feather, being Mr. Nice Guy. So if it's chauffeur, it's not like we're panicking or anything. It's going to be consistency. That's what we're fighting for. That's what we're striving for.